Hello, welcome to this lesson tutorial where we're going to look at a Python program which prompts the user to input two numbers, and then after that the program does the arithmetic operations on those two numbers. So let's get going. So we'll write our comment. Our comment will be prompt user to enter two numbers. Okay, so that's our prompt. So that's just a comment. Oh, sorry about that. Just start our comment, and then this is where we're going to write our prompt that will be allowing the users to enter two numbers. So we're going to introduce two variables there. So our first variable will be num1, which will be equals to a float. A float in this case is allowing us to have numbers that will carry decimals, and the program should be able to understand them. So we're going to have a data type called float. Then inside that we'll have our input, this is what will prompt the user to enter a particular number. So inside it we're going to have a string. So the string prompt will be enter your first number. You can have a full colon there, and then we have some space. Okay, so the space will help us to at least have the user input a number. Okay, then after that we go to our next line where we will introduce our second variable, which is equals float again. Then have our curly brackets here, and then inside we have our input. Then we have that, and then we have our string inside there, and our prompt will be enter your second number. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so that's this is the part that captures the data that the user will enter. So the next part is we're going to now have our line of codes which will do the calculation. So here we're going to write calculate arithmetic operations. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to now write the arithmetic operations. So the first one is the result sum will be equal to num1 plus num2. So we have to be consistent because we introduced these two variables here, so they have to be written exactly how they appeared when we introduced them. So the second line will be from a product result equals num1, okay, multiplied by num2. Then the second one will be the difference result equals to num1, the difference sign there, so then we have num2. Okay, so those are the three operators. The fourth one has a condition, so we're going to now also get to use let's just write the results. So write a line of code that will be displaying the results there. So display results. Using the display results, we'll get to also appreciate how the output of Python is conducted. So the first part was the input, where it is capturing information. Then the third part we're talking about here is where it is now displaying the results. So we are going to have now print. We'll be using the print statements here. So print, then the first thing is going to have a string there. So we want it to print sum, and then after it prints the word sum, it should be able to also return the result for sum. So we're going to have sum result. Okay, go to our next line again, also it will be print, and then this time we want it to print the product. So we're going to have our product there, product, we have this there, then we get outside there, we'll put a comma, and then we write product result. Then we come to our next line there, we're going to have our third print, which will look at the difference. Then we're going to have difference, okay, and then we move outside here the comma, then we have difference result. Okay, so that's pretty much the display part. We will have another display at the end, which will be looking at the coefficient. If you have noticed, we've not looked at the division here. So now the division will come with having some conditions there. So the condition will be to check if we have a situation where the user inputs the num2 to be 0. So checking for division by 0. So if someone puts in a number and wants to divide by 0, then we want to handle also that situation there. So we're going to have our if condition there. So if num2 equals, so equals 0, okay, then we want it to print out a statement which will say that cannot be divided by 2, cannot be divided by 0, sorry, cannot be divided by 0. Then sorry about that, so can't be divided by 0, and then we go to our next line there, we will have our else, okay, else, and then we go down here. We're now going to we're going to introduce our coefficient now, since we didn't do it in the beginning there, because I wanted us to also appreciate the coefficient being used. So coefficient result, we'll introduce the variable there. What is the coefficient result going to be? It's going to be equals to num1 divided by num2, okay, and then after that we get to have a print. It should now print out. So sorry about that, we have this, Okay, print. It's going to print out the it's going to print out the quotient. So quotient, and then we have this there. Then we're going to have a comma. Then we're going to have our quotient result, the one that we just introduced just now. Quotient result. Then we basically will close this here. And then I've just noticed that we had a mistake here. It's supposed to be subtraction and not division. So we'll go there and put our division sign there. So that's pretty much about the program. So let's just quickly run through it. So the first part here handles the inputting operation of this program, which allows the user to input, and then also when the user inputs, it holds whatever data is being kept into a variable. Then the second part now introduces the arithmetic operations and what are they going to be doing. So we have the sum result. The sum result will always be equal to 1 num1 plus num2. Then after that, we go and handle the displaying of the results. Okay, this is what we will now see when the program runs. Then after that, we have a special condition where we are basically using the if condition to check out some condition. If the divisor is equals to 0, then it should give us a message that we cannot divide by 0. So let's run the program and then see how it works. So very good. So our first prompt appears there, and we have to enter our num1. So randomly I'll choose 5 there, and then the second number I'll choose 9 there. Again, after that, then I expect it to give me the results, and it's just given me just that. So there we are. We have our product, we have our sum, we have our product, we have our differences, and then also we have our quotient. Thank you so much for this video, and see you in the next one.